Peter Cetera song?
Like a knight in shining armor.
Yeah.
From a long time ago.
You can't be,
Yeah.
Can we talk about Jurassic World for a second? Don't see it. Okay,
That's a hot take from Clint.
That's a hot take from Clint. It's a
Hot
fucking
takes from Clint.
That movie
I'm probably
is a
still gonna
fucking
see it.
disaster.
I'm gonna go see it too, but mainly because Bryce Dallas Howard's in it, and she can get it.
New addition to the list.
Oh,
Breaking
yes.
news.
Welcome to the Horror Virgin. Todd has a new phrase. You're going to hear it about 5 million fucking times until everybody that listens tweets and tells him it's not funny. He doesn't listen to us.
You know what? If you do tweet at me, y'all can hug a dick. I don't even care because y'all can get it. It's hilarious.
Now, can you clarify what get it means?
No.
That's
what makes it so great.
It's an intangible.
It's versatile.
Okay, because what it sounds like
Yeah.
is you're about to slap someone. So when you say it to Jennifer, we want to make sure the audience knows that is not what you were saying.
No, listen, because it's so malleable. You can use it for anything. It's like the F word. You can be like, "Hey, man, you can get it," or be like, "Damn, dude, she could get it." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm Clint.
Oh shit, I'm the Virgin Todd, I guess.
I'm Jennifer.
We
Todd, you can get it.
See, it works for everything.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. We just got done watching The Mist.
It was so bad.
It was
I
so
hated
bad
it
because
so
it was amazing
Yes.
and you were scared.
Yeah, that's
they
your
were-
tell. When you hate the movie, it's because you were terrified.
You know what? We had our first dry heave. You legit, I thought
Yeah.
you were going to puke on me.
Oh my
and I was
God.
like, go to the bathroom. And
you did. You did.
Don't puke on the laptop.
You did. Yeah. Oh.
Don't puke. No,
Oh, God.
no puking in the podcast studio. What? Thinking about dry heaving makes you dry heave?
No, thinking about what made me dry heave
Well,
in the
don't do
movie.
that.
made
I
me
don't
dry
remember
heave.
what it was.
Oh, I remember, and it can get it. It was gross. Okay, we'll get there though. We will get there. Like
This
that
is-
was.
I forgot how gross this movie was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
a
was
gross movie.
graphic. It was over the top graphic. I was not prepared for it. It was gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost got it.
But I feel like you handled this. I feel like you handled this well compared to some of the other stuff we've seen. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
And this
I don't
movie
know,
we're
man.
talking about is The Mist,
Yeah.
by the
That is
way.
true.
Are you saying that because it's not scary?
No, I'm saying it because we haven't said the name of the movie we watched
okay,
yet.
okay. I thought you were like making
I mean,
fun
I
of
said
me.
it.
Oh, no. Oh, you did?
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
did.
you
Yeah.
did.
Welcome to the conversation. So
She
yeah,
doesn't listen. That's fine.
I don't.
It's totally fine.
Ow, my knee hurts.
I tuned out at like the 5th. You can get it.
Yo, you can get it. All right, I'm gonna have to edit out so many you can get it because I'm gonna listen back to this and be like, why
Yeah,
did I
what's
say
our-
that a million times?
When you realize how not funny it is.
Uh-huh. I'm just sitting here in silence waiting for you to realize it's not funny.
What's our current you can get it count?
Yeah.
We should have like a little ding every time.
And when we were doing mic checks, we got about a dozen of them.
The
Oh,
number
yeah.
goes up on the screen.
The
Put it
mic
on a
check.
fucking t-shirt
The
and let it
mic,
go.
the mic check is you can get it written. All right, so I don't even remember what I was saying, but this
We're
movie
talking
was
about the movie The Mist.
Yeah, no,
instead
no.
of your dumbass slogans.
That's fair, but yeah. But this movie scared me. Like there were honestly, it wasn't that bad. It's our first Stephen King movie, and I know
Yes.
you love Stephen
Yeah,
King, so I'm
yeah,
sure we'll
yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
But this movie literally had some like disturbing shit. And I think I'm better with disturbing shit than I am like jump scary, gross stuff. And there was some of that in it too.
Yes.
So like this movie got me.
Like we just watched Child's Play, and now we're back on sort of A-list. So A-list,
Yeah.
B-list.
Sure. Oh, so this
and-
one's an A-list.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
consider
yeah,
this A-list? Okay.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's an A-list.
Okay, I don't think I can make that determination. You guys
You
can.
can.
Yeah.
Jennifer, this is probably a dumb question, but you saw this in theaters, right?
I'm pretty sure I do. I don't have a
Right.
memory of seeing it in theaters, but I'm sure that I saw it in theaters.
Well, I do remember that Todd and I were in the middle of a movie shoot. We were shooting the Die Hard spoof, and you probably you remember that, but you probably don't remember this. The crew decided that we were going to go see The Mist.
Yeah?
And you were
I'm
like,
sure I was invited.
fuck no.
Yeah,
You
I'm
were
sure I was
invited, and you were
invited,
like, nope, can't do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you were
Someday
like,
we'll have a podcast, and I'm saving myself.
uh-huh. And
Yeah,
here
they're
it is.
promise
Oh
ring
my
on.
God. I can't.
Starring the Punisher.
Was Die Hard with a sponsor? 2007?
We shot it in 07, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
It was like that Christmas.
God.
Like this came out around Christmas time.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, my
Thanksgiving,
God.
I think.
No, I think
Thanksgiving
Christmas-
weekend.
Christmassy.
Wow, that's
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
But
All
this
right, so
was
no
back
memory.
when I went to see all Stephen King remakes.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I can't imagine like
I would
any
not
Stephen
have
King
missed this
movie.
one.
Let
Yeah.
me ask you this. We're about to get in it. Was this movie better than the book?
You know,
What?
I think it actually kind of is.
Wow.
Okay, first of all, let me say this is not a book. This is a novella.
Yeah,
which
what's
is
that?
That's
like
a pretty thick fucking novella.
This does not say The Mist on the front.
Oh,
This
my bad.
says Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew is his second collection of short stories.
Oh,
and The
okay.
Mist is the novella that is the first thing in the book. So it's like
Okay.
130 pages.
Okay.
Which is what a novella is. It's a short
Yeah,
novel, but
yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It
This
sounds
is
like a Halo Top ice cream flavor.
novella.
Yeah.
You're thinking Nutella.
Oh, that shit's delicious.
Wow.
Yeah, it is
Hazelnut,
good.
chocolate, it can get it.
Yeah,
Well,
listeners,
okay, so this
welcome
movie was-
to the last 3 hours of our life.
So,
Someone send help.
Yeah.
so the whole it can get it thing or she can get it or whatever started because I get really uncomfortable in these movies and I have to make jokes or I cannot sit here and watch.
Yeah, the dumber the joke, I can always
Oh,
tell
yeah.
the more scared Todd
Oh
is.
yeah, because my brain's not working at any like
Right.
humoristic level.
The
It's just,
shittier the writing your brain
Yeah.
is doing. Yes, correct.
yeah.
But no, this is a really good adaptation, and it's Frank Darabont, and he just has this like mind meld with Stephen King because he does his stuff really well, and I think he chooses to do good Stephen King stuff.
Was his first one Shawshank, or was there one
No,
before that?
his first one, and this is a cool story. So his first one was The Woman in the Room, which is a short story in Night Shift, which is the first collection of short stories. And it's like a really personal story, and it was inspired by Stephen King's mother when she was dying of cancer. And it's about a guy who's trying to decide if he's going to give his mom an overdose of pain medicine. And so he wrote to Stephen King, and he's like, I really want to adapt this story. And so Frank Darabont was the first guy who got a dollar baby. Have y'all heard of this?
yeah, he
Yeah.
sells the rights for $1 or whatever.
He does. If
Yeah.
you can impress him with your concept, he'll sell the rights to a short story to you for $1.
Yeah.
If you're like a beginning film person, and there are lots of them, you can find them all over YouTube.
My
but
buddy
yeah.
Rodney, who lives in LA, he might be listening. He did that.
Did he? Did he
and he
actually
won
get to
some
talk to
awards
Stephen
too.
King?
Yeah, he made a. I couldn't tell you which short story it was, but he'll like send me the link to the. I'll
Really?
send it to you.
Yeah, if he does,
You
we could
post it.
share it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
But it's a really cool program that he does because, I mean, like, he doesn't need any more money, you know, and he just, like, it's a chance to give these young filmmakers a chance. So Frank Darabont was the one who had kind of inspired that program because
Yeah.
Stephen King saw what he did with that, and he was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, then he did Shawshank and then Green Mile.
Oh, he
and
did
then
Shawshank
this.
Redemption?
He did do Shawshank.
I love Shawshank. It's one of my favorite movies.
Did you not know it was Frank Darabont or didn't?
I didn't know it was Frank Darabont. I knew it was
You
Stephen
knew
King.
Stephen King,
I didn't
yeah.
know it was Frank Darabont.
Yeah.
He got an Oscar pretty early on then.
He did. Did he
Yeah.
get an Oscar for that?
I'm pretty sure he got a writing Oscar for Shawshank. I mean,
Yeah.
he directed it too, but I think it was. I will confirm that here in the next.
Well, he adapted
30
this
seconds.
screenplay. Well, and it's funny because when he was doing this, he was saying he wanted to do a Stephen King that was not in prison. And they're like, well, it's still prison. It's just a grocery store prison. So, yeah.
Yeah, it sort of was that.
Yeah, I think that this probably is better. If I hate the ending of this movie, and I like the novella's ending better.
The ending is the best part.
I hated
and Stephen
this
King
movie.
disagrees with you.
That's
because
right.
He, said
He
that was
does.
the
Yeah, he
first-
said he wished he had thought of it. Yeah. And actually, Darabont could have gotten twice as much money for this at another studio, but they would have made him change the ending. So he went to Dimension and he said, I'll do this for a lower budget, which is part of why the CGI is not great.
Yeah, the CGI
Because-
does not hold up.
Right, because the deal he made was, I'll do it for this budget, but I'm doing the ending that I want. That was his deal.
Correction, he has not won an Oscar.
He hasn't.
I could have sworn he
Shawshank
did.
won. It got nominated for Best Picture, but did it win anything? Should have won for Best Score.
I don't think. Did it get nominated for Best
It
Picture? It's
did,
not popping
yeah.
up. The Green Mile did.
Green Mile is really good, not as good as Shawshank.
No,
and the
Shawshank
book
is
Green
much
Mile
better.
is better.
I haven't seen The Green Mile since it came out.
Dead man
It's
walking.
good, yeah. The book is really good.
So can we talk about the actors in this bitch that are from other Frank Darabont projects?
Yeah.
It's all
before
The
we
Walking Dead. It's
get in it?
1000%
Yeah.
Walking
Well,
Dead.
and there's a
Holy
lot of
shit.
Stephen King actors in this too. That
Oh
aren't
yeah, like the
necessarily
Stephen King
Frank Darabont.
players.
The Stephen King alums is what we call them.
Oh,
in the
excuse me.
Stephen King community.
I don't know why I brought that up because I can't. I don't know any of their names other than
Like,
Thomas Jane.
That lady, Thomas Jane.
Yeah, who is the blonde
Thomas
lady?
Jane did-
Laurie Holden.
Laurie,
Thomas Jane
thank
was
you.
some of
Laurie
the best
Holden
acting
from
I've ever
Walking
seen
Dead
Thomas
and-
Jane do was in
Yeah.
this.
Well, he's not a very good actor.
Well, no, I mean he was great in Punisher.
he was not great in Punisher.
Oh, he wasn't?
No.
I haven't seen Punisher. He was.
Really?
We thought that Punisher movie was good because all we had before that one was the Dolph Lundgren one. And then the new Netflix Marvel Punisher came out with John Bernthal, also from Walking Dead, bringing it back home.
I'm going
Blew
to
him
say
out
this.
of the water.
I hate that Punisher.
That's because you hate good things.
No, it's because I hate all...
It's because you have bad taste.
I hate comic book
everything.
TV shows. They just jerk off everything, and everything takes way too long.
You know what? We're going to fight later. So like, we can't fight with the mics. I don't want to damage the equipment, but we're going to fight.
Eat a dick.
Clint, you can get it.
Nailed it. Nailed it. You can get it.
I say you do it, kid.
Yeah.
I'm too angry to speak.
Can we go through this movie, though?
Yes, let's talk about the mids.
Top to bottom, I hated it.
Oh, which means he was terrified.
I was.
Listeners.
Well, at the very beginning, I wasn't because it was just a storm. He was painting a dark tower painting, and the tree comes through the window, and they... Anyway, that's like the first quick scene, but it's really quick, and then it's like the next day, they're coming out.
I have a question. How does
Riddle me
someone
this.
make a living painting movie posters? Because I feel like everyone on the internet does that. How do you make a living at, like, he had like a dealer, right?
Yeah.
That they were talking about?
I think he mentioned a gallery or something like that.
There's a gallery in New York. Oh, yeah, they kept talking about, he's a big shot.
Big shot, New
painter
York
and
City.
has connections to New York.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love when you go, meh. Because it's like you're...
That's like,
it's
that's
you're-
his climax.
Yeah. Oh, my God. If you have sex with someone and when you're done, you go, meh. I will lose
I'll give
my
it a shot.
shit.
I feel like maybe that's why you're single.
I am single. Ladies.
Jennifer, where does this take place?
In Maine.
Don't they all take place in Maine?
Not all, but yeah, like I'd say 75% do. Yeah,
Wasn't Misery
Bridgeton,
in
Maine.
Maine?
I'll say
No, Misery is in Sidewinder, off of Sidewinder.
I'll say this. The job thing just shows me that Stephen King fundamentally does not understand where movie posters come from nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then he says something too. He's like, they'll probably just get some Photoshop thing with like floating heads or something.
Actually, when was the short story written, though?
it was written in the 80s.
Oh, okay. Well, then that sort of makes
this
sense.
book was like in 87.
Yeah,
or something.
okay. That sort of makes
I was
sense.
a little confused in the beginning until I finally saw a flip phone, what time period we were in.
Yeah, I mean,
because,
all the cars were
Didn't you
old.
say that was...
They were intentionally trying to keep it not have a timestamp on it. So they were like, some of the cars were from like the 70s. The army uniforms were older. Somebody had a flip phone. Yeah, they were trying
Nothing
to keep
says timestamp like someone being proud of a flip phone.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
It reminds me of It Follows. They tried to do the same thing, and
Yeah,
then they
I
got
couldn't tell.
highly criticized for it.
Did they?
Well, because there was like a device in the movie that was kind of like a smartphone. It was
Yeah.
like this seashell-looking thing, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?"
I remember you loving that movie. And
I loved that
everyone-
movie.
Everyone shitting on you, Clint, for loving that
Everyone
movie.
in our friend circle,
Yeah.
at least in this town,
Yeah.
hated it. I was in LA
loved
at the
it.
time.
I haven't-
Everybody loved it.
I, of
and-
course, have not seen it. So, like,
Yeah.
I can't...
Oh, we'll get there.
We
I
didn't put it
can't
on the
back you up
list.
at all, but I remember you talking about how great it was, and everyone was like, "You're an idiot. It sucked."
No, dude, it was
Yeah.
good.
That was really
I don't
just
know.
two
I have
people.
not seen it. It was funny though. I just like that
That's
conversation.
just like Tyler and Jinx.
I just
Yeah.
yeah, but those.
But they'll beat that into the ground for like the next,
Oh, yeah.
5 years.
Oh yeah.
So a storm happens.
Yep.
Was it his grandfather's tree? There's too much tree shit happening.
Yeah, I
in
mean, the tree stuff doesn't really matter.
No, it
It was
doesn't.
20 minutes.
Yeah,
so we could
the-
just gloss over that.
There was a
right?
really big storm, and I guess it does a little bit because his neighbor Andre Brower they had a
Who?
dispute over a tree.
Oh,
I'm
Captain
sorry,
Holt. Captain Holt. Yeah, yeah.
Is that how you say his name?
Captain Holt. Yeah.
Andre
Andre
Brower.
Brower.
First name
Yeah.
Captain, last name Holt.
Okay.
I am sad. I feel
I
sadness.
feel sadness.
Hey,
the
if you're
main
not
thi-
watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, check it out. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
The
Clint.
main thing we need to know is that he has a dick neighbor.
Yes.
Yeah, and that he has had issues with before.
Right, yeah, they had a dispute over this tree that was dead inside, and he didn't want to just cut
Oh,
it down.
just like me.
Oh.
Yeah, so
you
I
can
fell
get
on
it, Todd.
his.
You can get it.
You can get it, Todd. I fell on the boathouse and destroyed it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But so in the book, his wife has recently died, so that's part of why he's kind of
Oh,
an
Captain Holt's
asshole.
wife died.
Yeah.
They start to make up there by the tree. Like
Yeah, kind of, because his
they mend fences.
Yeah, they mend fences. Yeah, yeah. So they ride to the grocery store together with Billy, his son.
Oh, Billy.
Yeah, who didn't stay with the mom. The mom stays at the house to clean up.
Spoiler alert: she got it.
Yeah, she got it good.
She did sort of look like she had been plastered to the wall, though.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
It was kind of like, what
From
were you
Scary
doing? Were you
Movie?
up there painting?
Like
or,
Scary Movie when Anna Faris gets it and gets plastered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wrapped in a cocoon of jizz.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. She got it, guys. She got it.
Yeah. So then they go to the food house.
Is that the name
that's
of
the
that?
name
the
of the
name
I mean,
of it.
100% a Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
what
It,
it reminds
looks
me of.
exactly like a Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
It was filmed in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Was
Drop
it?
some knowledge. Yeah.
Okay.
Is Piggly Wiggly just a Southeast thing, or were they
It is.
Probably,
Okay.
yeah.
It is. And
Yeah.
I don't think there are any left, are there?
I don't know.
There was one on 8th for a while.
Yeah, downtown?
With like bars on the window. Yeah.
Well, it was.
I remember we went there on a youth trip, and me and our friend got a Piggly Wiggly shirt.
You still have it?
I do. No, I don't think so. I don't know. I said I'm big on the pig.
She can get it.
I'm not acknowledging this.
Oh, gross. So, yeah.
So they go to the grocery, the food house.
So, and they're just like getting supplies or whatever.
Right.
And then this old dude runs up with a bloody, looks like he just got a bloody nose or something. And it's like, they got someone. It got
Something
someone.
in the mist.
Yeah, there's something in the mist.
Who was he on Walking Dead? Was it Dale? Is
I don't
that his
remember.
name?
Oh,
But he
man.
was the old guy in the first couple seasons.
Yeah.
Of
Oh,
Walking
man.
Dead,
I
yeah.
watched the first season and then I was out.
Me too. I loved the first season, and then it got real bad.
Yeah.
Clint- I
and
bet
Frank
Clint loved
Darabont
it.
exited pretty
I do
about
not
midway
love The
through.
Walking Dead anymore.
It got
I feel
so
like it
bad.
got better a couple seasons later.
Yeah, I won't do that. So people say the same thing about Dexter. You have
Yeah.
until you
season
lose me.
4.
Fuck that. Season 2 was a bag of shit. I was out. Like if
Season 2 of Dexter?
No, it was season 3 that was a bag of shit. I think I
And
watched
with
the
the
first two
Scanner,
don't do that
seasons.
to
season
me.
4
Yeah.
was like
I've had-
one of
I've
the
had enough.
best
Yeah,
seasons
so
of
I
television
watched the
ever,
first
though.
2 seasons of Dexter, liked it, watched the beginning half of season 3, and I was like, I'm out. This is
And
so
you
bad.
missed the Trinity Killer,
Right, which is the
was
best
probably the best
one.
season 4.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Because you make bad decisions.
That's fine. I do make bad
gotta stick
decisions.
it out.
I go with redheads
if
usually,
only
and
you
they
saw
break my
season
heart.
3 of The
Aw.
Flash, then maybe you'd understand.
Why would I
Boom.
sit through 40 hours of
I've never
shit
even watched The
television?
Flash.
Then why are we having this conversation?
Is that Mike still working?
Clint, you can fucking get it. All right, so yeah,
Do you see any DC? It's all Marvel, baby.
it is all Marvel.
All Marvel.
Yeah, so we're at the grocery store. There's
Yep.
an earthquake.
We're going to be at the
He runs
grocery
in.
store for a long time.
Yeah, that's where the movie's
This is
set.
a one location movie.
Yeah,
I will say
pretty
that I
much.
did not know this the first time I watched the movie, that it was all going to be in
Oh, really?
the grocery store. Nope.
Yeah,
So,
and I think I saw the movie before I read this book, too.
So yeah, the guy comes up saying there's something in the mist, something in the mist. It took someone or whatever.
Yeah, it
and
took
then they
Big
come
Jim.
in, and then shortly after he gets to the
He gets
grocery
it?
store, no, he's fine.
Yeah.
Isn't he the guy that?
Yeah, he has like a
Yes.
bloody nose, and that's it.
Right. Yeah, he didn't get it. But he gets into the grocery store, and the mist comes almost immediately afterwards. Like it's on him, and then
they have a big earthquake, and everybody's.
earthquake.
No, I forgot about that.
Earthquake.
Yeah.
In air quotes, earthquake.
What do you think it is?
It was the
mist?
No, it was
Oh,
the
the-
big monster
the
walk.
big
Oh,
monster
okay.
walking
There's
around everywhere.
speculation about that because
okay.
it's prolonged. There are some conspiracy theories about this movie. It
Is there
doesn't-
really?
There
'Cause
really
it
are.
did not make money. It is not a popular. It's popular among horror
It's-
fans for sure.
Well, and among Stephen King fans,
It's
too.
a really bad movie, though.
I don't think it's a bad
I hate,
movie.
and I think I'll probably end up hating Stephen King. Sorry, because I feel like if his horror
I'm
movies, I am out. I feel like if his horror movies are like this one, where they set up this whole like some shit went down but don't explain how it happened, I'm out. I fucking hate that. If you make me
Why do you
sit
need to know
through,
that, Todd?
Yeah.
if you make me sit through,
What does that have to do
all,
with-
if you calm down, baby bird, Daddy's gonna feed you. If you make me sit through your shitty ass jump scary fucking movie, you better explain to me why this shit is happening.
It's 'cause
And
of
it
Project
doesn't explain
Arrowhead.
it. Oh yeah, so what happened? What happened to Project Arrowhead that
Okay,
made
well,
the thing go
they're-
bad?
yeah,
so I do
Project
remember,
Arrowhead,
I do
yeah.
remember them talking about Project Arrowhead. I remember them talking about how right before they killed the. We'll get to all this, but right before they killed the guy,
Yeah.
and put him outside. I didn't kill him, but stabbed him and put him outside.
de facto killed him.
Right.
yeah, he
he
would've
told him
died
a little
anyway.
bit about it.
They threw him in the volcano, basically.
Sure. So they get there. The mist is on the building.
Yes.
And it honestly, everyone's like, "Oh, it's misty
It's just a little
out,
misty. Yeah, it'll
whatever."
clear. Which, I mean, there was just a storm, and it's like
Sure.
there's been a heat wave too, so I mean, it's realistic. But
I
this
mean,
is like in the book there has, yeah.
Well, no. I'm saying, yeah, mist happens. Like it's not
Right.
like a uncommon
But this is
occurrence.
like a thicker one, like it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when it's coming in and that guy at his car just completely disappears. Oh, and then they all hear people screaming.
Yeah.
But they're like, maybe they just can't see and that scares them or something.
Yeah.
They don't want to believe that shit's going down.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to get this confused with the fog.
Well, yeah.
I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a the mist is a very foggy movie.
Yeah, misty. So there's a an old book called The Fog, and I haven't read it, but I have
Wow.
it. And it's very different. Like the fog makes you go crazy, but the fog from the 90s with like Smallville guy and Lost Girl has like ghost pirates coming out of the fog or something.
I never saw it.
I haven't seen either.
Yeah, all I remember is the trailer. Like, there's something in the fog.
Well, there's something in the mist.
Yeah, there are tentacles.
When do we first see something? Like,
okay,
I think it's the tentacles.
It is the tentacles. Yeah, that's the first thing. So he goes back. David goes back into the
Who's David?
Punisher.
Punisher goes back.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah.
I misspoke.
What's her nickname, Jennifer? Or his nickname.
I'm very bad about remembering names in movies. Like, I just don't need them, so I don't pay attention to them.
That's how I know
are
if it's a good
lot
movie that I liked, is if I know the
white
character's
people.
name.
Oh,
This
yeah.
movie, right? So it's all a bunch of typical like white guy names except
It's
for
like-
Huey.
Huey?
Is that his name? What is
Norm.
the what?
Norm?
No, not Norm. Who is the
Phil.
Oh God damn it! Who is the
Thomas.
Who is the guy that we hate? The guy that we love with the gun?
Ollie.
Ollie.
Ollie is the
Okay,
best.
Ollie.
We were just making up names and
I know,
throwing them
just
out.
I know.
saying
You were
names.
totally fucking with
That
me,
was
and
awesome.
it was annoying me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ollie's the shit.
Yes, he is.
Oh,
Assistant
and
manager.
Yo, and that cashier could get
Oh
it.
my God. This was the genesis of this.
Well, because I saw her and I was like, damn, she could get it.
Yeah. And then said it a billion more times
Well,
about
but-
And it wasn't
everything.
funny. It wasn't funny the first time, but you're gonna run it.
I do like running jokes into the
Me
ground,
too. It's
so
the
I'll
best.
go with you. Yeah.
It is the best.
Uh-huh.
Ollie, whose eyes are a little too close together. Honestly, he does
He
sort
may
of
or
look
may
like
not
Jordan
have red hair
Catalano.
or brown hair. And he kind of looks like Annie Potts a little bit.
Oh man, Ollie
Just
is.
do a Jordan Catalano podcast already.
Ollie
I
is.
will
that I
do
am
that.
not on.
Spin-off.
I've never. It's just gonna be called Teaching Jordan to Read.
Yes, with my love.
I've never seen this show. I don't even know who Jordan Catalano
So
is.
you
outside
are
of the
a
urban
My
legend.
So-Called Life virgin?
Oh,
if
I'm
you
not
will.
doing another Virgin podcast.
He's also a Dawson's Creek virgin,
And
that
Hook
is gonna
virgin.
be-
Hook
God.
virgin.
That's gonna be the next podcast.
In real time, the podcast launched a little over a week ago, and I can't tell you how many texts I've got being like, "Oh, you're a virgin." I'm like, Jeff, I get it.
I have sex
Everyone's
with
made
you,
this
Jeff.
joke.
That's what it
Jeff-
sounded like.
Jeff could get it.
Spoiler for the Sex Sounds.
Get on board, Clint.
Nope.
All right.
Ooh, okay, so the mist. God, we've gotten like 10 minutes.
So the
into this
generator. So
movie.
Thomas Jane, the Punisher, is walking
Yeah.
around in the storage area behind
Uh-huh.
where the aisles
the
are.
loading dock.
Right, the loading dock, and he sees that the generator is clogged or something's
Yeah,
wrong with the
something
generator.
I
out
was
in the book.
confused
It's
by
like
that,
something
too.
outside is messing with
Okay.
it.
So he decides to.
So
and he doesn't go to the store manager or anything. He just decides to turn the generator off.
Yeah.
Which they very quickly learn that it is off, and
Yeah.
so
'Cause
while
all
he
the
was back, while he
electricity
was
goes
back there,
out.
he hears something kind of. What was it like banging?
It was
on
banging.
the-
It was like
Yes.
pressing
It
against
wasn't
the
banging; it
door.
was pushing and like testing to see if it could get through. It seemed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then he goes back outside. Now this is where it starts to get weird. And there's a lot of messy, weird human behavior
Yes,
in this
there
movie.
is.
And some of it is on purpose when we get into the religious shit, but some
Yeah.
of it is just I don't know if it's the writing of this movie, the execution of it, but he comes back out and he says, "Oh, hey, I heard a noise." Everybody's like, "Well, I don't believe you." You know,
It
like,
goes-
and then
yeah.
he's like, well,
Yeah.
why don't you just come back and we'll just check it out? And so, like, 4 or 5 of them go back there. What's his name? Shermanator.
Yeah,
from American
from American
Pie.
Pie.
is
His name
a
is
store
Norm.
clerk.
I remember
that's
Norm.
Norm.
I know
Okay.
Norm's name and I know Jim's name because Jim's a dick. I fucking hate
And
Jim.
that's the hick, right? Or the main hick.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shawshank
yeah.
Kick.
Yeah. Oh,
Shawshank Kick. Yeah, he's one of the Stephen King players too.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
And Frank Darabont. He's in a lot of his stuff.
So they go back, and
Yeah.
then what happens? Do they? They decide to open the
Well, yeah. So they turn the generator back on,
Right.
And then
So they can open the door.
right, and then
just a little bit,
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
like up to their knee level to just kind of see if there's something out
And
there.
he's going to sneak out and he's going to clear whatever is blocking the generator from working.
I actually liked when they opened the loading bay door or whatever it was because the mist was really thick and
Yeah.
it opened it and it looked like it was
Yeah, it was like a
solid.
wall
it
of
looked
mist.
solid. It was that shot was pretty cool. I mean, I'm sure they just packed the
Yeah.
mist into it, but it looked cool. I liked that shot, and I'm sure it was all practical and very simple, but it was I
Yeah.
liked it. It was effective.
Yeah.
And then they're making fun of the Punisher because there's nothing out there.
Yeah.
They go from like, oh, you heard a sound to you think you're better than us because you
Oh,
got money.
yeah.
They do that so
escalated
fast.
They do.
quickly.
Yeah.
Now,
and
look.
it made no sense.
It
I
was
kept
insane.
I made a lot of comments in this. I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is going on?
And
Like,
that
what
is
happened?
because a lot of the dialogue is taken straight out of the novella. And look, I love Stephen King. He is my favorite person on earth. He does not always write the best dialogue.
Right.
And they work. Then that's why a lot of his adaptations are not that successful, because the thing that he does really well is he explains the thinking of the characters. So when they say stuff that doesn't sound like, that sounds kind of weird, you understand it and it doesn't bother you
because you're inside their head.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but you can't do that in a movie. So when they say things like, "Are you being obtuse?" or "I don't believe that you said something," it's straight out of the book, and they're trying to be faithful to the book, but it just doesn't always work.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Like when
translate
she's
well
trying
at
to go
all,
home
no.
to her kid, she's like, "Won't somebody walk an old lady home?" And it works in the book, but it
That
sounds
was
weird on the
also
movie.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's why if you hear a weird dialogue in a Stephen King movie, it's probably straight out of the book.
Okay.
But still read the books because they're awesome.
So
Oh, yeah.
these giant
Tentacles.
Tentacles. Yeah.
shoot through they start
They
to
don't-
creep in
They
and
don't really
grab
shoot through.
Terminator.
They're sort of slow, but Terminator's turned around looking at them, and they're like, "Oh my
Oh,
God,
that's
Norm,
right.
Norm,
Yeah.
watch out!" And it grabs him by the
You
leg.
don't turn your back
Gotcha,
to the
okay.
mist, man.
No,
And then it
never turn
starts
your back to the
like-
mist.
That's how it gets you.
Yeah.
It takes a chunk of his leg first,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, no, it wraps his leg up,
Oh,
and then
that's
Thomas
what it
Jane
is.
comes and tries to grab him and help him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Ollie, who is the hero of this whole fucking
Yes.
movie,
Goes to get the axe.
No, well, at first he grabs it.
Oh, right.
He grabs Thomas Jane to help him, and then he sees the axe, and he's like, "I'm going to axe this tentacle."
Yeah, because
So he
like at
goes to
this
get the
point,
axe.
5 tentacles are starting to come in.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, 3 other dudes are doing nothing.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so fucking frustrated. Like, there's so much
They're
of nothing
hiding-
in this movie.
Yeah.
In every
Yeah.
scene that something happens.
They're hiding
So-
by the dog food.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yeah.
not literally, yeah. And then one of the tentacles comes, opens the bags of dog food, and then like
And
makes
sprays all over it.
Yeah, makes it rain dog food on Jim.
And this is some bad CGI.
it is,
pretty
and that's
bad.
part of what we were talking
Yeah.
about with the budget.
Yeah. And how much do you think this movie cost, Todd?
It's one location for the most part. There is some CGI, and I bet Thomas Jane was sort of expensive. $8.50.
Okay.
No, probably
Adjusted for inflation.
10 million, 10 to 20 million dollars. would be
okay.
my guess.
Yeah. 18 million.
Okay.
Yeah. Needed a little bit more.
Honestly,
But would you have preferred a $30 million budget with a different ending?
fuck yes, the ending sucked.
Yeah, I do hate the ending.
I hated this movie.
So you
All
would
right.
prefer no movie
Well,
for
this
no
movie
budget.
did not.
I'll say this.
Go ahead.
They could just give me $30 million and not have made this piece of shit. I'd be a lot happier than I am today.
I don't think it's a piece of shit. This was
Well-
actually Bloody Disgusting ranked this number 4 for their movies of the 2000s.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, and
I
it's
can't
really
believe
like Stephen King fans love it because it is a good.
Well, since you got
I
the
can't
numbers.
believe you hate the ending. I think the ending
I hate
is what
the
makes
ending
or
because it
breaks
destroys my soul. That's
All right.
why I hate
All right,
the ending.
let's talk about the ending at the end. How much money did it make? Since you got it up right now, I want to know.
It made $25 million.
Oh, so it made
domestic
money.
on an $18 million budget. That means it did not. I don't even want to say it broke even because
How much do you think they spent to advertise it? Because we can't
well,
see those numbers.
we don't
on-
know that.
Yeah.
We never know that. But I can tell you right now, it's going to be at least another $25 million in advertising.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, this is back in. This is a
Jesus.
major release by MGM and not the Weinstein Company back then. It was Dimension. Tack on
soon.
another $25 million.
Too soon, Clint. Too
Take
soon.
away. Take away 30% from the theaters that they're going to take. So yeah, now internationally, so worldwide, it made 57.
Okay, so it probably did make a little bit of money in the long term.
yeah, and I mean it's stuck around too.
Yeah.
So
can get it.
that's
You can still.
they broke
It's over
even
40, but
at
Yeah.
best, I think.
Yo, Jessica Chastain's over 40, but she can get it.
Because you don't lose the ability to get it when you turn 40.
No, you lose it like in your
You
60s.
kind of do.
yeah.
Some people do.
That's a
Some people do at
menopause
35.
joke.
Some people never have it.
Oh my God, Clint! Is Clint opening up about his ED right now?
It's going through the change.
Save it for the ED podcast.
Spin-off.
I wonder how long that could go. If we did an ED
How long
podcast
could
and
it
talked about
go?
it once a
The
week,
new
Hey,
virgin.
but look, if it goes longer than 4 hours, we have to call the doctor.
we start bringing in guests.
My God.
Tell us
I'm
your ED
out.
story.
Oh my God.
Ooh. Okay, so the myth.
Yo, y'all can get it.
Anywho, okay, so Shermanator gets it.
Yeah!
Damn it!
Got
Damn
Clint
it!
saying it. Got Clint saying it.
I legit
It's
didn't
gonna
realize that.
catch
God
on.
damn
Yo,
it.
He can get it.
God damn it. All right. We go back to some more bizarre behavior where they go back out to
Yeah.
the grocery
Yeah.
store.
Well,
they
like,
have
well,
a
We can't
okay,
tell
wait,
anyone.
wait.
We have to tell everyone. We can't tell anyone.
Wait.
they keep
So
going
yeah,
back and
but
forth.
Thomas Jane, as they're closing the bay door or whatever, chops off part of the tentacle. and it's still sitting in the loading
Yeah.
bay
Yeah, oh, this
or
drove me
whatever.
crazy.
And then they're like, we can't tell everybody, and then jump to literally literally 20 seconds later, we have to tell everybody.
We have to tell them.
And then they go out.
And that's where you start to see the divisions, too.
Yes.
And that's when they grabbed Captain Holt, and they were like, Captain Holt, we need to talk to you.
Because he's a lawyer, and he would be able to convince people.
Right. So they tell Captain Holt, and he's like, I don't believe you, whatever. You guys are the local yokels, and you're trying to pull one over on me or whatever. But they could just be like, hey, come.
Go fucking show
just
him.
Or bring it up to the front with
they
them.
were trying to get him back to go look, and he wouldn't, but they just need to, like, I don't know.
But it was really weird. He had this like conspiracy theory thing going on where he's like, well, Thomas Jane hates me, and all these other people that don't know him well at all
I
are
sued the
backing
Punisher,
him.
so,
I'm not going back there.
It's just a
You're
manifestation
treating me
of
like
his
a
fear.
stupid person.
Yeah.
He's afraid. He's just trying to deal with it.
Yeah.
Captain Holt is a good guy, you know?
But they already saw.
I don't think he's a bad guy in the movie.
But we've already seen the bloodied old man running out from the mist saying something is in it. So why can't you it's so dumb. There's a lot of moments in this movie that are like that.
I understand and completely agree with you. But the tentacle scene was not scary to me. I saw all of that. No.
But it was like pretty gory. Like that tentacle like grabbed chunks out of his leg.
It took a chunk of his chest.
There were moments I like cringed and sort of like closed my eyes a little bit, but it wasn't super like jump scary, so that was fine. But and then they eventually go back. They eventually do get some people to go back with them to see the tentacle that's laying on the ground, and he pokes it with the broom and it sort of dissolves.
Yeah, like into black dust or ash.
It's like a liquidy type of thing, right? It was it was something
more like an
but
ashy,
it sort of devolves away.
So so there's no more evidence,
right?
Basically.
So what does the store manager say when he comes back in and he's like, it seems we have a
problem of some magnitude,
a bit of a situation or something.
He used a word that a food lion. What was it called? Food house. A food house manager would not say.
I mean, that's how he got to be the manager.
Oh yeah,
like he knows all the words.
He's like the assistant manager.
Tenderloin words.
What was Ollie? Was he wasn't.
He was the assistant manager.
He was the assistant to the manager.
And nobody took and nobody took him seriously like the
until he showed him that gun.
Until he's a fucking badass.
So who's holding Thomas Jane's kid? It's Laura Holden, Lori,
short hair lady, Lori Holden.
She's a realtor
lady.
And then there's another older. Oh, is it the old
teacher,
lady?
Mrs. Repler? I love her. I call her
great.
Buddy McDougal from Sex and the City. Because she's awesome.
Nobody knows.
She's my favorite character. I'd take her over
She's great
Ollie.
in that. Yo, honestly, she could get it.
She and Ollie just ruling the world, man.
Old chicks, no tricks. All right.
So we're getting to know the character.
Yeah. We also meet the crazy. I'm going to call her Crazy
Marsha
Christian later.
Oh yeah, Miss Carmody. Yeah, she's nuts. Which at first, like everybody thinks she's nuts, and she's just that lady that says all the conspiracy theories. And they talk about her on the way over to the grocery. They're like, yeah, she's always talking about aliens and shit, you know.
Yeah.
But then when they get scared, they start to believe her.
Well, yeah, and that's what sort of progresses. It becomes very Lord of the Flies.
Right, and that's what Frank Darabont said. It's like, this is like Lord of the Flies with some monsters in it.
Yeah.
And it's a very very Stephen King thing, too, is just to get a bunch of people together in a terrifying situation, and then they become the monsters. You know?
Well, that's what happened in this, yeah.
Right.
I feel like the next big thing that happens after sort of the character development is the bugs on the window.
No. They go outside.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So the next
Norton tries to leave.
That's right.
So Captain Holt takes a bunch of people with them.
I forgot
and
about
they
that.
tie up the biker guy. I don't know if he actually is a biker, but he's dressed like one.
He decides he's going to go get the gun.
He's not leaving. He's going to come back and bring a shotgun with him. It's in a not Sam Elliott's car.
Right. Yeah.
But or truck. But Sam Elliott's like, I ain't going out there.
You got brass balls.
You got brass balls, son.
Yeah, you can get it.
Yeah, you can get it.
And by it, I mean my shotgun.
Yeah, it's in the trunk.
Here's my keys.
Yeah, here's my keys. So they tie a rope around him because they know they have 300 yards or 300 feet or whatever.
And I really like this part. This is one of my favorite parts of the movie.
It was. I mean, I sort of saw it coming, but it was.
But
good.
it's like when the rope starts to go up too, and you know, like, okay, so like, something is really big.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. And it also bothers me. It's like that part in the descent, like their hands are burning from the rope because it's going so fast.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You will.
You're not ready for the descent.
No.
Yet. I don't know if I'm ready to watch that.
Oh, I love that movie. Let's watch it right now.
It is it's not only scary, but it's extremely claustrophobic.
Someone asked me if I want to go see Hereditary, and I was like, no, I'm never seeing that movie again. So I understand that completely. I never want to see that movie again.
Oh, but it's so
Maybe
good. We're going to watch it.
Immune to it if you see it again.
No, I mean, we've already seen it.
No, The Descent.
Oh, sorry.
We're watching The Descent.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah. But yeah, so that, and then they pull the rope back and it has the blood on it, you know?
And then the not torso, it's like the legs.
Yeah, I just really like how they took their time with that, and they like let us all these different levels of, oh, that's fucked up, oh shit, you know?
Yeah, well, because first it's just slowly going out like he's walking, and then it pulls really hard, and then goes way up, and then it comes down, and they start pulling it back in.
Collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then they start pulling it back in. It's just regular rope, and then bloody rope, legs.
Yeah.
Cut the rope.
And they can't go outside and do anything with the legs there, so
Right.
they
stay out there
and
the
they
whole
keep cutting
rest of the
back
movie,
to
yeah.
it. It's
Right,
really
and
funny.
then they kick them out of the way at the very end when they're going out the door.
Yeah, that's when they start putting like stacking like dog food and fertilizer by the windows and whatever, and start
and putting duct tape over the crack when they had a big block of something they could have put over there.
It looked like it was just cardboard, so maybe it wouldn't have held that well anyway. But you're right. I would have covered the windows so you don't see what's outside. They can't see what's inside.
Yeah, instead of putting every lantern in the store and flashlight there. So
and that causes the problem because that night it attracts a shitload of interdimensional bugs.
Giant bugs.
That cause, you've got notes on the bugs.
I found a cool website that said the names of all the monsters, too. It was really cool. Those were...
Nerd alert.
Nerd alert.
Scorpion flies.
Oh,
that's fair.
I even have a list of everybody who gets killed by each particular monster and their powers.
The only important person
is and don't call me a nerd when you got all this shit on your wall.
Oh no, that's why it's funny. We're also the co-hosts of the same
podcast. I know. Yeah. Although I don't like these movies, so y'all can hug a dick. Y'all can hug a dick.
You don't
we could get it.
They fuck you up.
I mean, you can get it too.
Yeah.
There's no wait till you get home.
Why can't you just adjust it in your brain? You're like, you know what? This was a good piece of cinema, but I didn't particularly have a good experience.
I do feel that way
instead of just saying it's a shit movie because it's not a shit movie.
It's good.
It's a
I really
movie.
like it.
I'm going to go ahead and respectfully disagree with you on that one.
The only person that mattered in this scene that bit it was the cashier.
No. Oh, yeah.
The cute cashier, which you were very distraught by.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I was so sad.
Like
Oh, yeah, that's when the bugs start coming in.
Yeah, because
and one
the bugs
bug just sort of bit her, and then her neck and head just like expand.
Oh, yeah. She got it. She got it, yeah. But like the bugs were on the outside of the windows, and then these bigger bugs were bigger like pterodactyl looking things were coming. Why don't you tell us the actual names of them as you have them in your book?
Oh shit.
Okay, while
so
she's
the
looking
scorpion
that up.
flies were doing that, right?
Tarot buzzard.
Tarot buzzard. That makes
buzzard.
sense. So the tarot buzzards are just trying to eat the
they're just
scorpion
trying to get
flies
by,
or whatever,
you know?
right? But they keep hitting the windows and they break the windows.
Right,
And
right,
why
right.
do they keep? This scene drove me crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they were shining their lights,
And they never
up again.
stopped.
They
And
didn't,
then
because they wanted
throughout
to
the scene,
see.
they're like, "More lights. We
I
need
know.
more
Yeah.
lights." And I'm
I know.
like, "Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
It's
Stop
like,
it!"
have they learned nothing from Jurassic Park?
Did they ever figure it out? Did they even figure it out?
I
that
think
the
at
lights
some point
were
they did, but
attracting
by
it?
that point, Jim was running around turning on every goddamn light in the store.
Jim is the worst.
Jim really is the worst.
He's
It's
like, "You
almost
need
like
me to
he's
turn any more lights on?" He actually says this in the
know.
middle
Yeah.
of the scene.
I got them all turned on. Hey, hey, hey.
Wow, that's honestly, guys,
Oddly
joining us as the fourth guest, Jim from this movie. I like you shooting guns in the air was the best.
And we did talk about this while we were watching it. There aren't enough hicks in this movie.
Yeah.
There
like
aren't?
they are
That
in
don't talk.
Yeah, they are in a very small town in Maine, and there are only like two of them.
Yeah.
And we're like, where are the guns?
And one of them's a
where are
good.
the guns and where are because there's
Yeah. But
they're
no
in
one has a
Maine.
gun except for the one dude has a gun.
Well,
in
and
his-
she got it. He got it from Lori Holden.
Yeah, Lori Holden had a gun because her dead husband. Well,
He's still
assuming
alive.
no.
I mean, unless the spiders got him, he got it.
oh,
Yeah,
did
he
she
got it.
mention she had a husband?
Yeah.
she
I
does
remember
in the
that.
book.
Oh, she
yeah.
doesn't. She doesn't act like she has a husband because she's trying to get it with Thomas Jane.
Can we talk for a second
Repopulate.
about like Thomas Jane? He
Oh.
tries to make like one phone call to his wife and
Yeah.
then like doesn't
Yeah.
mention her.
Yeah.
Again.
Until the
Yeah.
kid was like,
Until the-
"Where's mommy?"
And he's like,
"Oh,
He's like, blonde
My
chick's your
bad.
new mommy.
Lori Holden is her actress name, but we don't know
Spoiler
her
alert,
name.
she got it.
They do have sex in the book.
Do they really?
They do,
Okay,
yeah.
so is he really conflicted in the book? Like, oh,
No,
or
I mean it's kind of like a tension relief kind of thing.
this is
like-
kind of like you get a pass.
I
if you
get
think
it, like-
everybody's,
Yeah.
if
I'll
you
say
think
this.
everybody's
You get
dead,
it.
if you think you're,
I get it because if you're like, we're all gonna die, you wouldn't want to get it once before you go.
everybody's
Yeah.
probably dead. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I would.
you're bonding over like they're forming a little family. So she's becoming. I know we made a lot of jokes about it, but she was acting as his mom.
Yeah.
you know, and that's like they are forming a relationship.
Yeah. She was trying to get it.
Yeah, but I do think that was a smart thing to take out of the movie.
Anyway,
'cause you don't need it.
Before the
Scorpion
bugs and the Terra blizzards or whatever the fuck they're called come.
Lori Holden.
Lori
also
Holden.
on The Americans.
Whatever.
Great show.
Lori Holden gives Ollie the gun, and Ollie reveals that he used to be like
a sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter, like a competition sharpshooter, right?
While all of you guys were having sex in college, I was going out to the range.
Yeah.
And his boss is like, whatever, Ollie, you know how to shoot shit. And then he starts like loading the gun.
Yeah, and then he like does it just with one hand too.
Yeah, and then the store manager's hard.
Revealing himself.
I do feel like Ollie's
You're the
got a lot
manager
of
now,
practice doing
Ollie.
it with one hand, though. So
There it is.
yeah, because he got it alone.
He did. Aw.
So anyway, so that is good because when the Terra buzzards are attacking, he's like taking them out.
Yeah.
And Thomas Jane's like beating one with a. Oh God!
And they're trying to they have these
idiot.
mop torches.
And it takes Lori Holden fucking 5 minutes to light.
Yes.
I was so mad. Like I wanted to yell at the screen. Like just.
Light
Yeah,
the
this whole
fucking
scene frustrates
thing.
Is
me.
there
And they're-
anyone in the fucking grocery store that can use a lighter?
Right.
Ugh.
It's not that hard.
And there are also like 30 other people not doing anything.
Right,
And they
just running
sort of
around
keep running around screaming.
But
Yeah.
this is when those buzzards started like picking the things out of that guy's neck.
Oh,
Yes.
that was the first time I jumped because
Yeah.
it was shocking and gross.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was
This
awesome.
is
I
what a Jurassic
forgot-
Park movie should be.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like not covered by the leaves when this stuff happens, you know? I forgot how gruesome this movie was.
Me
It
too.
was-
Real
It's been
gross.
a while since I've seen it.
They do eventually light some mops on fire.
Yeah, and then immediately kick the lighter fluid over and set everything on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
acknowledged the next day. There were some funny lines. They were like, "We're gonna have to go.
Yeah, we
because
gotta-
if they get in here again, we're gonna burn the store down.
Right.
Or
Did
try
they say
that
that?
again." Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Oh
like,
my
that torch
God.
thing didn't work. I mean, we killed a couple of them, but
Well, and it
Yeah.
killed one of them because he set himself on fire.
yeah, and the other guy got like buzzarded to the neck, you know?
Buzzarded to the neck. Yeah.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
You just got buzzarded.
Buzzarded
To the neck. Oh, and then cute girl who can get it
Yo, she
got,
got it.
She
Oh,
got
man.
it
Yeah,
in the
no,
neck.
That one was fucked
Yeah,
with me a
that
little
one
bit.
is
Like
sad.
all the rest, I think is cool, but like when somebody's neck just starts swelling up, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
ew.
I was out. I was in at first when I saw her. I was like, oh, she could get it. But when
And
she
he
got
was so, and they were so, she was so about to hook up with the
Yeah,
with
Soldier
Eyebrowsy.
Boy.
Yeah.
she was about to hook up with Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
He's Superman. So he like got up on that shit. Yeah, they even made out a little bit. And she was
They
like,
did,
they were
yeah.
about to do it. And she was like, I don't know if I can do it for the first time in a break room.
Yeah.
And
I have
she
standards.
She should have got it because she was about to get it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those towns where everybody knows each other. So she's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
why didn't you ask me out in high school? It's like,
Because I'm dumb.
'Cause I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Because we got
And then they don't get it, and then she dies like immediately after that. It's
Right.
like they
And
go
it's
out and
sad.
it's mayhem and stab in the neck and then done.
And
Well,
she was
and-
the only one in his age range too, so he
Yeah.
was very
Right.
distraught.
Yeah.
Well, and like the big fly thing, the whatever.
Oh,
it
my
said.
God.
Scorpion fly went on Miss Carmody,
The
and
crazy
she was
Christian lady.
Yeah,
Saying some scripture.
she did.
Crap,
okay, she
right?
said, "My
What-
life to you," and that is a Stephen King thing because one of the characters in The Stand says that over and over and over again.
The scorpion thing doesn't stab her.
Doesn't.
And she takes it as a sign that she is God's chosen vessel.
Right. I
And
think it's just that the scorpion doesn't like old chicks.
Well, I get it. I get it.
You can edit
I
that
get
out.
it. No, I mean, I'm into it.
Hashtag patriarchy lunch, Jennifer.
Oh, God. Yeah, you said it.
I know.
Normally, that'd be something I'd say,
Yeah.
but she is not hot.
Yeah. Well, she's crazy.
Sometimes crazy can be fun, Clint.
See, urban legend.
Clint.
What
Crazy can be fun, Clint.
is it? I mean,
Spin-off
I
podcast.
Yeah, you
don't
do.
know why I'm acting like I don't know.
Yeah.
Crazy
Yeah.
can be fun.
But yeah, so that's like confirmation that all this religious stuff she's been saying is like she was spared because of that.
Right.
So then it like escalates. And then that's when everybody starts to get really scared and they start listening to what she's saying because they see that the scorpion thing didn't get her, you know?
And it's at this point in the story that Thomas Jane has a conversation with the others. Let's call them the sane ones,
Yeah.
which are 4 or 5
Yeah.
of them, and
I think
says,
there's 8. I think there's a total of 8, honestly.
yeah, and they're debating like whether or not they should go, and they start forming like a little bit of a plan.
Yeah.
And he was like, "We got to get out of here because this crazy
Yeah.
chick is going to
Well,
start."
but
you
first they want to go to the pharmacy
Yeah.
because
Yes.
dude that got caught on fire is like,
is in
in
bad
pain.
shape, and they need
They need pain medicine because
Right.
he's gonna die if they don't get
to
it.
get antibiotics.
so this is like
yeah.
a trial leaving the store
Yep.
thing.
After
And-
the first half of the movie, they debated with other people. about not leaving.
Right.
And now Thomas Jane is on like, we got to go.
Yeah, we got to go. But they do try and stop him from leaving, but they're like, we're going to go no matter what because we got to save this guy's life. We're going to go to the pharmacy. They don't tell them they're going to leave when they get back, but we're going to go to the pharmacy. So they crew up.
It's basically all the people you care about going except for Laurie Holden and the kid.
Yeah.
And
And Jim. And this is where
and the realtor, she doesn't go.
That's true. Well, the realtor committed suicide, right?
I don't think she
we
has
don't care
yet,
about
though.
the realtor. I said people we care about.
Yeah, it's true. The realtor.
I forgot the realtor was in the movie when they found her body. I was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah,
lady.
she was in here.
The chick that just totally failed at watching The Sun during all that going on because he almost died.
Oh, yeah.
Got eaten by a pterodactyl or
Terra
some
buzzard.
Terra buzzard.
Yeah.
So a blizzard.
So Jim and the old
New
lady
flavor of
goes.
deal.
Yeah, Miss Repler, I love her.
Miss Repler goes. So they all go, or a bunch of them go.
With a fucking lighter and a can of hairspray too.
I love that
wasn't-
line that
it
she
wasn't-
gives the
it wasn't hairspray.
What was it?
Oh, I'll tell you in a second.
Oh,
So they
geez.
get to the pharmacy.
Pins and needles. Guys.
Ooh. So they get to the pharmacy. They start, and I think the old lady goes because she either works there or at least knows where they keep the good drugs.
And she's a badass. And she's like, you guys are a bunch of morons.
She is
so
a
you
badass.
need me here.
Yeah, so the door was propped open. And
Yes.
it was all misty inside, and they go in. They start getting drugs, right?
Yeah.
And then they start hearing things, and Jim starts screaming like
Oh
a
my
fucking
God.
child.
It will
Yeah.
not stop.
And the spider monsters come out. What are they called? I know you know.
Gray widowers.
Gray widowers
Uh-huh.
made some widows out of those ladies' wives. Wait,
Right.
those men's wives?
Just
Whatever.
keep going with it. You'll get there eventually.
It's the worst. So the black widowers or whatever.
Yeah, gray widowers.
Gray widowers start attacking, and
Yeah.
they start shooting like acid webs.
Yeah, they've got
Or whatever.
their web shooter things, but they're corrosive.
Right.
So if they get on you, they cut through you.
Yeah.
Oh, that was badass.
It
too.
was-
Yes,
oh, that
this was
fucked
the
me up.
scariest part
So
of the movie.
this
I
is
think.
the part of this. This is the part that really got me, and I started dry heaving at was when they find the MP who was against the wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. In
And
the,
they're trying to cut him off,
in the
and
cocoon,
he's
yeah.
revealing that he's got like spiders on him.
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
spiders,
In
but like
him.
in him.
They
Yeah,
were
he's got, like,
and then-
bubbles.
totally fucking
And
that
this is
dude.
where they sort of allude to it being a problem with the military.
Right.
base
He's like, I'm
that
sorry.
caused
It's
this.
our
Yeah.
fault. Okay, but so when his hand comes out and touches Jim's shoulder.
Yeah.
Stephen King was at a screening. He jumped just like you did, like 3 feet in the air. And Frank Darabont was like, that was the highlight of my filmmaking career.
Yeah,
Because he scared
So
Stephen King.
and that part scared the crap out of me.
Yes.
And then when he fell on the ground and like dies, but all
And
the
just, like,
spiders start
explodes
crawling
back,
out of him.
explodes open.
That was when I
Woo.
started dry heaving. I
Yeah.
was like, "Bah,
It
bah,
was
bah."
the
It was
best.
the worst.
Yes.
I
You're
hated it.
puking. I'm jerking off on the same couch.
I was sitting on
so
a different couch.
Gross. It was so gross.
Just bodily fluids going everywhere.
Hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we actually
so-
switched places, Jen.
We
so
did.
it's a good idea.
Yeah.
It was a good idea.
So the brother of the guy who burned himself
Yeah.
dies in this
I
scene
think so.
because he was the guy who lost his leg to the acid.
Yeah. The corrosive
the
web
corrosive
thingies.
webs.
Did that guy ever survive?
No,
I
he
think
died.
They
I think they
referenced
may have
him
left
still
him.
being alive.
Oh,
Oh,
the
I
black
don't-
guy?
Because he was in the back or something
I don't
later
think
on
we
in the movie.
see him again.
We don't see
though.
I don't
him
think we
again.
see him again.
They
Yeah,
might
so that
reference
was
it, but I
that
don't
was
know.
a fucking useless mission.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Well, because his brother dies, and he either dies later on, or
Yeah.
maybe he survived, but is all fucked up.
We don't even see if the brother survives.
The
Like,
brother
they just-
dies. He dies with the spiders
No,
because.
no. The brother they were going to get the medicine for.
Yeah,
Right,
that's what we
that's
just
what we were
said.
talking about, yeah.
Welcome to the conversation. Yeah. So we were doing all
I love
that,
how
right?
when I check out for 2 minutes, I don't get judged.
For
but
real.
Jennifer does.
So anyway, this is the part where the old lady, I forget her name.
Repler. Bunny McDougal.
Yeah, Bonnie McDougal takes, and it's a can of like bug spray.
Ah,
That's what
okay.
it is. So a spider's like.
Good reveal, Todd.
They're trying to like. You're welcome. They're trying to escape right from the spiders who are in the back of the store, and there's a big gray widower at the front, and she's just like standing there as they're trying to move up, and she sprays it with the lighter and the bug spray.
Yeah.
and it doesn't kill it, but it causes it to run away, and
I
they
feel like
run
we're going
back to the store.
backwards.
No, they're still spiders are just fucking shit up all over.
Yeah,
the
so
place.
that's when they leave the pharmacy.
Yeah, and they're
Um,
like keep getting bigger. Like every time you see
yeah.
a spider, it's bigger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Spiders are the scariest part of this.
I think it might have been for me. That scene with the EMP was the biggest jump scare.
Yeah.
And then honestly, I got a little sick when the spider started coming out of his skin. It was so fucking gross.
and it was jump
Yes,
scare, and
it
then
was
it just
awesome.
kept going
Yes,
with like
and it
spider
wouldn't
chaos.
stop. It was spider
At least you didn't get to see the
Yeah.
scene where the spider fucked him and planted the babies inside. I mean,
Why are you
fucking face?
Why are you doing this to me?
Face. The torture doesn't stop when the, movie
spider
ends,
fuck,
Todd.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Just stay away from the laptop.
So real.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
call
know.
you in the middle of the night, and be like, "You still think about that scene?"
Yeah.
What's
And
up?
I'll be there,
Yeah.
eyes akimbo, like the dude
Yeah.
from The dude from
Yeah,
Hereditary.
either that or we'll do the clicking from Hereditary.
I'll just be like laying there like, yeah, Clint, I'm still thinking about
all
that.
those clucks out too.
I really, really thought that Hereditary was going to make a bunch of money, and then all the teenagers were going to be like all over the place, and like that movie just is not doing well.
It
Is it
will,
not
though.
doing well?
It'll stick around. It
Shit,
did well
man.
for that studio, though.
For that studio, yes. Yeah, because it's made like, I don't know, 30-something million
Honestly,
by now. But
a lot of people are talking about it.
Yeah, it's going to be around for a
people
while.
Are talking about it.
And
I mean,
especially like horror community
not at the
people.
box office.
Yeah, there's a podcast that I listened to this past week that two friends
cheating on
betrayed
us?
one of a friends and made him go see it.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Your
tortured
friend-
him by
he thought
making him
he would
talk
never-
about it for an hour and a half and then sent him home. You guys are the worst. I hate you guys.
My friends who would never betray
Clint's
me.
like, what podcast is this?
Yeah,
Our
I'd like to-
podcast, Clint. Our podcast.
Thank you for letting me know. I really wasn't sure.
Gross. Anyway,
what are we talking
so-
about? The mist.
So the old lady saves the day.
Yeah.
And then they run back, and of course they're down like 3 people, but Jim's
Yeah.
still fucking alive because he's the worst.
Yeah.
And this is
Because he doesn't do anything.
no, he
just
does something. He
run-
screams a lot.
Well, that's true, but he just like averts like all the
oh
danger
yeah,
and doesn't.
he never
tr-
fights because he's also in the
Yeah.
first tentacle fight hiding on dog food. He's,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. That's
but
right. Yeah.
then when Thomas Jane wakes up from sleeping for like 9 hours or so, then Jim is like all in on Miss Carmody.
Yeah, but so is most of the people
Right,
in the
right.
store
Yeah,
at this
because when
point.
they got back, she made up some more bullshit about why this is happening because of
And that's
God's wrath.
because
blah,
when
blah,
you're
blah, blah,
that scared, you just want to believe somebody has some kind of idea about
Yeah.
what's
Yeah,
going
and
on,
they have
and you will listen
dialogue
to
about
crazy
that too,
shit. Yeah,
which I liked.
the sane eight.
the 8 people that are sane.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, good.
the sane 8.
This movie should have just been called The Sane.
The sane 8.
I don't feel like
Or Pins
that's...
and Needles.
Ooh,
Oh,
I don't get
The
that.
rural jerk.
I'm just a title person.
the best.
I think it could have been called That Cashier Could Get It.
What was it? What was the name of the military operation? It could have been
Project
called that, too.
Arrowhead.
Yeah,
Arrowhead.
Project Arrowhead. That
I
would've
mean, I
sounded
kind
good.
of like the mist.
No, I do too.
The title
It's
was not the
descriptive.
problem with the movie. The movie was the problem with the movie.
I think the problem with the movie
You just
is
hate
you are
good
too
movies.
The
scared.
problem with the movie was the spiders, and was the tentacles, and was the things, and the buzzards. It was horrible.
yeah.
So anyway, they go
Aw.
back. He takes a nap. Nap like for 8 hours. They
Yeah.
wake up, and that's when the whole place has become like a theocracy.
Yeah,
with
and they're
that
like, dude, we
crazy
could-
Christian lady
Carmody.
at the helm. Yeah. So like she is in control of all these people, and Thomas Jane is like, because the MP alluded to the fact that they are.
It's their fault.
It's their fault.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
goes and
We're
interrogates
sorry.
the.
Did we talk about that when he was
Yeah,
dying?
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we
he
talked about Lieutenant Eyebrows, and he's trying to find them.
Lieutenant Eyebrows. So he goes to Lieutenant Eyebrows and says, "Where are your 2 other friends that were in military garb?" And he's
Yeah,
like,
like,
"I don't know.
"Well."
Let's go try and find them." And they've hung themselves.
Right.
And they hung themselves because they knew what was going on and they were scared of what was coming.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And they felt bad.
Yeah.
And then does anything else happen before they
Yes.
decide? Oh, that's
Yes.
right. Because
'Cause
then
in
Jim
that-
creeps in.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh,
And he's
he
like,
knew,
"It's your
he knew."
fault.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
grabs the soldier, throws him out, and they pretty much execute him. They stab
Yeah.
him a few times. Ugly, tall John C. Reilly
See, now
stabs him
that
like 3
was probably
times.
the most disturbing part of the movie.
Yeah.
to
I think
me,
it was
when he got stabbed.
I think
yeah.
it was because
yeah.
it was a lynching. Like it was horrible.
It was. Okay, and so he gets stabbed a couple of times, and then they pick him up and they drag him out the door. And did you notice the shot from above where he's holding onto the door and he's trying to stay in is like the shot when Norm got sucked out with
it's
the
the same
octopus.
thing, yeah.
And so what it's showing is that these people have now become the scarier monsters than
Yeah.
the ones that are outside. Yeah.
So he
Interesting.
They throw him outside. He walks a few steps away from the door.
Yeah.
Sees it looked like a big lobster monster.
Arachni-lobster.
Arachni-lobster. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Arachni-lobster.
little
I don't think that
B-52s.
sounds at all like the song.
No, but I got you were trying to do
You
the
got it?
B-52s. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then he comes back, puts his handprint on the door, and says like, "Please let me in" or something. And then the arachni-lobster grabs him.
Right. Yeah. It's sad.
Yeah.
And that's when they're like, dude, we got to get the
Yeah,
fuck
that's
out
when
of here.
Ollie and Punisher are like, "We got to get the fuck out of here."
And then they go to sleep. They're like,
Again,
the-
which
the-
is There's a lot of sleeping from Thomas.
Well, they
Jane.
sleep till dawn. They wake up.
Yep.
Ollie has stashed some groceries.
I have a
Groceries.
question about
Boss.
this.
Yeah, what's
so
up?
their plan was to sort of wake up before everybody else. They
Yes.
didn't really realize everybody else
Yeah.
was going to be awake and go out the front door. Why don't you go out the back? Why
Because
don't you
that's
open
where-
that door? It doesn't really matter.
Because
if
they
there's
need
no
to
it
get to their
does.
car.
Yeah, the cars. Time is a factor out there.
Okay.
Time
Yeah.
is a factor.
Well,
with
I
the
don't really
mist.
know. I don't really know what the setup is as
Yeah.
far as like where their cars
They've
are,
been
where the
peering
parking
out the
lot
window
is.
at the car. They're like, okay.
All
Because
right.
remember, they like, before the blood got on the rope, he got about 200 feet away. My car is within
About
that
half that,
distance.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right.
and this is also the part where Billy, the kid, well, not that Billy, kid Billy tells the dad.
I was like, Emilio Estevez is in this?
I loved him. Tells the dad. I did.
I
Dude,
loved him. I got the vapors.
I did. What was that movie movie?
Billy the Kid?
No.
Young Guns.
Young Guns 2, man,
Yeah.
had so
Young
many dreamy
Guns
guys
2.
in that
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Woo!
Regulator!
Shot through the heart.
Mount up.
Anyway, so the kid was like, "Don't ever let the monsters get me. Promise me you'll never let the monsters
know what?
get me."
And he's like,
You know
sure.
what? His dad kept that promise.
he did. Unless the
kept
dad
that
is the monster.
Promise. Oh, shit.
Oh. Okay, so anyways, they're
He
about to
kept the
leave.
National Guard from getting him too.
And happiness.
Fuck.
Spoiler.
I hated this movie.
Oh,
Oh, this is the best.
yeah.
Hated
I
this.
loved it.
So,
Okay.
anyways, this is when Ollie really saves the
Yo,
day.
Ollie's
because
so awesome. I just
Yeah.
want to
no.
I feel like
Get it
the
with him?
Oscars should now be called the Ollies,
Yeah.
and we just give him a statue of this bespectacle, ugly man.
That was definitely the best role he had ever had.
Yeah. And he's been in a
he
lot
was
of
just in
stuff.
Jurassic World, Jurassic World 2. I
Yeah.
refuse to say fucking Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
You just said it.
Did I say them
Boom.
together, Todd? No, I didn't.
Oh.
So
but Todd
yeah.
can edit it together to make it sound like you did.
Ooh,
It was just a joke on me.
I have the power. So anyway, Ollie. So they start to sneak out, right?
Yeah.
They go to where Ollie hid the food. The food is gone.
Uh-huh.
So the food has been moved.
Oh, that's right.
And
he
Marcia
looks
Gay
up.
Harden's just chilling in a fucking
yeah,
rocking chair
with her
or some,
fucking
some
milk and her
shit.
knife behind her head.
Yeah.
She's like, "What are you
is it
doing?"
with her in the milk, man?
Dude, yeah, she's swilling that milk like a boss.
Carmody has the knife in the
Yeah.
milk.
Mrs. Carmody.
Mrs.
She's the
Carmody.
crazy
Yeah,
Carmody.
the old,
Yeah.
not old, but like crazy Christian lady, post 40s, second half of life old. She's got
Yeah.
the knife in the milk, and she's like giving them a speech. But then it seems like everyone else in the grocery store was waiting for them to get
Yeah,
up
they
because
start
she had let
circling
them
up.
know. Yeah, because they
was a
were
trap,
all they
for sure.
all looked asleep, and then
It's a
when they
trap.
got up, they all got up and were like surrounding
Right,
them.
with knives in their hands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so they
I was
were-
Where
like,
did the knives come from?
Dude,
Probably
it was
the
like
the
butcher
butcher
shop,
shop,
right? I mean, I don't
yeah.
know, but they were in a grocery store, so I'd imagine
Yeah.
that's the only thing I
A
could
knife
think.
section.
Yeah,
it was very
So-
Children of the Corny too. You know?
Oh, it was certainly
Stephen King.
corny.
You got to watch Children of the Corn, Todd. We'll get to that.
Yeah, it's pretty
Question
good.
me not, Malachi.
Outlander.
What
That guy's got red hair. I had a
just
crush on him.
Happened.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You will hate gingers after that movie. Faux
Yeah.
show.
We just Children of the Corned each other. It was awesome.
Will you guys stop children of the cornholing each other real quick so we can get back to this podcast?
So one time he doesn't want to talk about gingers.
I
That'd be great.
know.
Well, I assumed it was a ginger boy.
It is a ginger
Then
boy.
I'm out. I don't care about a ginger boy. Ginger chicks can get it.
Okay, yeah. So they're trying to get out, and then she's like, "We need the boy. We need the boy."
Oh, yeah, because they want to sacrifice him.
Yeah.
So they're trying to grab the boy, and then she's like, well, just grab the blonde. Sorry, I forgot her name. Laurie Holden has the boy as Thomas Jane's trying to fight him off.
Mm-hmm.
And then the crazy Christian lady's like, get both of them. And then she's like, kill them all, kill them all.
Remember that later that she
Yeah.
wanted both of them.
Yeah, and then kill them all. And then Ollie's like, not today. And just like shoots her right in the stomach.
Yeah,
out of
through the
nowhere.
milk
Through
bottle.
the milk,
Yeah,
which was
through the
badass.
milk bottle.
And you couldn't
Yeah.
really tell she got hit the first time. You
Yeah.
thought, oh, well, maybe it just
Maybe
hit
it's
the
a
glass.
ricochet,
Right.
yeah.
Ricocheted. But
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then
no.
boom, right through the forehead.
Oh, yeah, he
was
tapped the
fucking
dome. It
sweet.
was so
Yep.
great.
That's the best part of the movie.
Yes.
I remember.
I wanted to stand up and clap. 'Cause
Uh-huh.
Well,
okay.
okay.
You hate this woman.
Yes.
I did this when we were in the theater, and Will's. I don't remember that. I remember parts of this, but Will said I almost got in trouble because I stood up and said, "Shoot that fucking bitch!"
Are you sure you weren't drunk?
I could have been. There were only
Shoot
like
that fucking bitch. That's awesome.
there were only like 20 people in the theater.
Well, and then Ollie is like, I had to kill her. And
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
like,
well,
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Thomas Jane says thank you almost immediately after
Yeah.
shooting her, and then they
Later
go to the
on
door.
when they're leaving,
like,
yeah.
it's, I mean,
He's
it's
like,
like 20
I wouldn't
seconds
have
later.
done
He's
it
like,
if
I
I
wouldn't
had-
have done it if
you
I didn't
know.
have to. And he's
And
like, that's why I said thank you.
Right, yeah.
And
That might be the
when they-
best line of the movie.
Right,
yeah,
right.
They make a beeline to the car.
Well, hold on. So when she falls like that, the position, and
Yeah.
they show that's the same position that Margaret White from Carrie dies in
Oh,
Carrie,
yeah?
who is another religious freak and
Yeah.
like perverts the religion like that. So that was a Stephen King callback. And
Well,
I said
I
it
got
quickly
very-
enough for you not to have a conversation with yourself while I
that
was
was
talking
you
about
nailed
it.
it. You should keep it to
did.
that. I like
You
that.
did.
Short,
Like a little 5-second
subtle,
thing.
to the sweet. I'm
But
into
by
it.
the
Don't
time we're
talk
looking
too
at
much,
each other,
Will.
she's done. It's perfect.
I
You
know.
know, it frustrated me watching this again because why didn't Ollie intervene when the kid was getting stabbed? Because they kept waiting for that,
Yeah.
and because I thought maybe that was the scene that he did it. I
Yeah.
didn't
when the
remember
kid
the guy
was getting stabbed.
I think
Oh,
when the soldier was
the
getting
soldier.
stabbed.
Sorry.
because
Yeah.
I still think that he was like, this is not really what I think is happening. Like, I think there was still this level of disbelief. But once you see eyebrows actually get killed, he's like, well, shit, they're going to do that with the boy, too.
call
So
him
now.
Eyebrows?
Yeah.
I did. Lieutenant Eyebrows. He's got some eyebrows, man. I think he was in The Walking Dead too, but I think he was a walker.
He reminded me of Josh Hartnett. He looked like Josh
Oh,
Hartnett.
He sort of looked
yeah.
like Josh Hartnett.
I
Has
love
anyone
Josh
seen
Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett since Lucky Number 11?
Yes.
We have talked about
I know.
this.
I know.
Okay.
Because you've listened to these things pretty goddamn time.
Oh, I know.
Just reliving
You're going to
past.
watch Josh Hartnett's very first movie on this podcast eventually.
Yeah.
Little movie
H2O.
called H2O, Halloween H2O. He actually has an introducing Josh Hartnett credit,
He does.
which
Wow.
is really old school.
That is very old school. Yeah.
They were like, you're going to take this dude and like it.
Yeah. And
All
I
right.
did like it.
I mean, he honestly, I don't think
do
he's a
too.
bad actor. I think I like Nucky Lumber Levin. I
Good
like
Lord.
I
Are you
like-
having a...
Is that your
Are
Are
verbal
you
tip?
having a stroke?
I liked Lucky Number. I liked Lucky Number
Josh
11.
Hartnett gets him all tongue-tied, you know.
Ooh, baby.
He can get
Yo,
it.
he can get it. He
Boom.
can get it.
Beat you.
Ugh. Anyway, so they start leaving.
Yeah, so they leave. They get to the car, and that's the end of the movie.
No, it
And it's
isn't.
happy.
Honestly, if that had been the end of the movie, I would have been pissed, but I would not nearly have been as pissed as I was.
That's where I turned the movie off.
Yeah.
Like, I've only seen the ending twice now because I watched it the first time, and then every time I watch this again, I just turn the movie off then.
And that's where the
Like,
book
oh,
ends,
yeah, they're
right?
happy.
You turn off the best part of the movie.
Oh, yeah,
By
debatable.
far.
Some of them die on the way to the car.
Yes.
So,
Ollie
yeah,
dies
they
on
get
the way to the
off.
car.
There's one last
Conveniently.
redneck left. Sam Elliott, whatever
Wilhelm
you call
Scream
him.
Dude.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Bobo Sam Elliott, or not Sam Elliott, the last kind of rednecky guy, who was actually a good dude,
He
but he
was.
was
Yeah.
the
Myron.
other redneck, who was Jim's friend, but he didn't
Okay.
go crazy like Jim did.
And then the store manager makes it back in,
Right.
and they let him in. They let him back in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or he just has the keys.
Yeah, they never
Yeah.
really showed that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but you do see him as they're driving off in the store, watching them drive off.
Yeah.
And
I
then
didn't really understand this part of the plan because they talked about this off screen, but were they all trying to get to their own cars?
No, I
Because
think
he
they were all
couldn't-
trying to get to his car.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they just got scared once all the spiders started getting to them, and like they're in the mist and they're scared, so they just kind of.
well, they were just trying to run away from the spiders at that point because they were
Right.
like in between them and the cars.
and
or
some
whatever.
of them
Yeah.
ended up in the car, and some of them didn't. The
Yeah.
ones we care about the most. Ended
So
up in
Ollie
the car.
dies. The gun falls off of
Yes, his
Ollie
last
and lands on the
heroic
hood.
act.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
So-
really is a hero. Although, if that gun had not landed on the hood,
Yeah.
better ending.
Yeah. Punisher grabs the gun because he's the Punisher. He's got to have a gun.
Yeah.
So then they drive off. That's where the book ends, though, right? Or the novella?
Yeah, they're trying to scroll through the radio and they hear the word Hartford. So there's like the implication of hope in
Okay.
Hartford. So that's where they're going to drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's the hope
that's
at
where
the
it
end of
ends.
that movie.
Yes.
That all of them survive.
Yeah, which is a Stephen King thing too. A lot of his stuff ends on a hopeful note.
Yeah.
You know.
So they drive and drive and drive. Mm-hmm. Drive and drive and drive.
And they see
Well,
the behemoth that walks
They-
over him.
Yes.
But first,
They take a
make a
detour.
little pit stop
Oh, that's
to
right.
Thomas Jane's house
Mm-hmm.
instead of the goddamn gas station that is
Yeah.
probably wide open and still filled with
No
gas.
lines. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely no
You might have to
lines.
siphon a little bit, but you know.
Yeah,
Yo, you know
that
Lori
credit
Holden
card
can
machine.
siphon.
That credit card machine probably still works.
Yo, I bet
I'm
Lori,
glad you said that,
I bet
and I
Lori
have to.
Holden can siphon. You know what I'm saying?
She can get it.
Yeah, she can
She
get
can
it.
get that gas.
She can get that gas.
Can she, Todd?
Well, she probably spits, but it's fine when it's gas.
Well, that's what you do. You suck first, and then you spit to get the flow going.
I just let you guys just
That's a
ruin
rookie move.
yourself.
Finish
So,
the job. Lori Holden. Anyway, so they don't do that. They go to his house.
he wants to know if his wife is,
And
is
and
yeah,
he's like,
and
oh,
she's
she
like
is.
cocooned up in that corner,
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
She got
He
it.
doesn't even have to get out of the car. That's very convenient. Where she's like in sight, where he's like, oh,
right,
fuck.
exactly. Like of the driveway too. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't even have to drive on the lawn.
And you know, everybody else in the car is like, that's cool. We'll just go to your fucking wife's house.
I know.
Fuck our
Right.
family.
Yeah, I guess
you
our
know?
families don't matter, do they? Punisher.
Yeah. So
I'm
now
gonna start
we'll
calling
just,
him Deep Blue Sea because I've never seen the Punisher.
He is in Deep Blue
We
Sea.
gotta add Deep Blue Sea to the list.
Yeah,
That would be
dude.
fun.
That is one of
Okay.
my favorite kills and all.
Do you even know about that? The
I
big
know
kill
about
in
Deep
that?
Blue
I
Sea.
figured you
I
did,
don't-
Yeah. Oh,
You mean
are you
Samuel
excited for the
Jackson?
Meg? Because we gotta go see
Yeah.
What's the Meg?
Like
the
me
Meg.
some shark horror.
Is
Oh, the
There was
Megalodon?
a
yeah,
preview
yeah,
for
We're
it
gonna
in
go
the
to the theater
trailer.
for that. That'll
Yeah.
be that's coming out soon, isn't it?
Maybe it's a
Oh, my
summer.
God.
Sharks or summer movies.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. All right, so they leave, they drive and drive and drive. They run out of gas. They pass the mega thing.
Behemoth.
And they drive and they run out of gas. And then he pulls the gun out and says, "We have 4
Yes.
shots left." And Lori Holden's like, "But there's 5 of us."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'll figure something out."
Oh.
she really seems like she doesn't. I mean, it's not like anybody wants to die, but she did not seem like she gave her seal of approval. Like the two old people did.
I was going to say
and
that.
she was kind of like,
I don't know.
I'm not really sure
I
about
don't know
this.
that if I'm Thomas Jane in that situation, I am saying, do you want to die right now?
Yeah,
Right,
have
like,
them
how
sign a
about we
form.
say
Do
it
you
out
want to die
loud?
right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you want to, just because you're crying doesn't
Right.
mean I'm
Yeah.
gonna be
A little
you want me
wink
to
and a
kill
nod
you.
is not
Dale,
enough consent
well,
for me.
Dale in the back, I thought, gave him a.
He did. He went, and he's the man, so he's the only one that counts, right?
This is like you need the level of consent you would
Why
need.
even shoot the women? They don't
Yeah.
matter.
You would need the level of consent you would need if, like, you all, like, everyone from your company came to, like, one location and you met someone you didn't really know before, and, like, you were hanging out for 2 or 3 days, and you were like, I bet she's going to get it tonight. And she's like, oh, I want to get it. But, like, you just need, like, a huge level of
Where is
consent
this
because you don't know if, like, this is going to happen or not.
I feel
and,
like
if
this may have
it happens,
happened to
if
you
it
this
happens,
week.
and then, like, you're like, oh, she got it, but did she really want to get it? And, like, am I going to go to jail? Like, you got to get that level of consent.
Breathe.
Todd's working some shit out
Good
from
Lord.
his weekend,
Oh my
I think.
God. Oh my God.
Red in the face and fanning himself.
Oh my God.
I declare.
Yo, where's the faking sofa? I got the vapors.
Lindsey Graham,
got-
ladies and gentlemen.
Todd got too
New,
much.
higher orientation.
You know, when they did that, when they did that,
this in. I am leaving this in.
You should.
And I'm
send
going
it
to
to your
jail.
boss.
when they show that wide shot of him finally shooting them, and you can't really make out what's going on in the car.
I just worked through some shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
you
did,
did.
man.
I honestly, okay, so when he killed all of
Right.
them.
But it
I
was slower than I remember, and I can just imagine by the time he gets to the third person, he's like firing the first two. He's like, just kidding.
Right. No, and like runs out
I
the door.
was so thankful that they
didn't
show it. I was
That
so
would have been
thankful for that.
amazing.
Yes.
Clinton's like,
Especially
I can't
just-
get hard anymore.
I cannot
Show me
get
the
hard
death.
until I see a kid getting shot in the face.
By his own father.
Yeah, and I mean,
Oh.
really, he couldn't have done it while he was still napping. He had to wait until like the sun looked up. And he's like,
Let me ask
Dad?
you this. What order do you think this was in?
The kill order?
Oh, I think it was the kid, then the woman, then the
Then
old lady, then the man.
Me
Yes,
too.
for sure.
Me too.
Because that's what it looked like from the wide
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
That's
Me
what
too.
he did.
Me
yeah.
too.
Well, and that would be the logical order too.
Yeah.
Just go in order of age.
Just young to old.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
And then he
ending,
gets
though.
out and he's like, come kill me.
Yeah.
Come kill me, you stupid bugs.
Yeah. What
And
you got?
Now
And
this is
then-
this is by far the best acting you will ever see Thomas Jane
Yeah.
do.
Oh, yeah.
By far.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Those sharks were pretty convincing. He was afraid of them.
I mean, I haven't seen The Sweetest Thing in a long time, but I'm pretty sure.
Have you seen 1922?
No.
It's on Netflix. It's another Stephen King adaptation, and he's playing this old farmer from 1922, and he's like almost unrecognizable because he talks like this. There's a foolish
I gotta
man
get to
and
the goddamn Home
everybody's
Depot.
Right, exactly, except it's 1922, so there aren't. But yeah,
I got to get to the goddamn
he's
general
good
store.
in that.
I watched a little bit of The Expanse, and he plays a detective on this like futuristic space show,
Yeah.
and he always wears a fucking fedora.
Okay.
And it
He is
drives me-
hilarious on Arrested Development, though.
He's
Have you
funny?
seen
Yeah.
him? I just want my kids back, and I've said that 3 times during the movie, and nobody laughed.
Well, you should have said that after he murdered his
I
child.
thought so, but I was
Yeah.
too destroyed emotionally.
Yeah. So anyway, we're skipping past like the shittiest part of this whole fucking movie, and that's after he murders his son, new wife, and parents.
Yeah.
And then leaves. He then gets saved by the National Guard
Yeah.
almost immediately.
Yeah,
I
like
was
2
so
minutes
mad.
because that's what they heard coming.
I was so
And
mad.
then
the look
we
on
s-
his fucking face.
Oh, and we
You
think-
started
I
laughing.
did start
Yes,
laughing.
really
and it
funny.
I was
helped
like,
me.
this is so. The
He's
look
like,
on my
"Ah!
face. The look.
And I'm like, oh my god.
It was almost laugh. I mean, I did laugh. It was
man.
laughable.
Well, he's single now.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh
how
my
many
God.
wives does Thomas Jane need to go through in this movie?
Right.
Oh, and then the truck was passing by with the survivors and one of the ladies that left in
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yes.
Now, how the fuck did she get all the way home?
She
and
was
nobody
careful.
else can get from Walking
Carol,
Dead, yeah.
but I said she was careful,
Yeah.
but that's her name, Carol.
But she's Carol, so maybe she's a badass.
Originally,
Yeah.
they were going to be driving and see her body, like she'd been killed by one of the monsters, but they liked her acting so much in that scene when she's going home that they let her live.
But she's like, haha, my kid's still
my kids are
alive.
okay. Bye. See you in hell. And also, they were going to have in the next truck all the people from the grocery store, too, that had been rescued.
Well, I thought that's
What?
what was coming.
They were, but
yeah.
what had happened was all the actors had already left town, so they couldn't do that.
Well,
So-
would we have even? Well, I guess we would have recognized a couple of them because
Yeah,
all the
probably. Jim, even if Jim was just there.
Did
And,
Jim survive?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I forgot about
I think
that.
so. And manager.
Oh, that's right.
Who else was there?
Yeah.
And that lady
that's
that
it.
kept saying, "You murdered her."
Yeah.
Just curly lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is really what elevates this movie for me. I
It
just
is,
was
and
like,
I'll
I
give
am
it-
never going to forget this movie. If that
Right.
had happened, I probably would have forgotten about it the
And
next
that's why
week.
people still talk about this movie because
Yeah.
it is a really good movie and it holds up.
Disagree.
But yeah, the
Just
ending.
wait until next week, sir.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, but yeah, and I don't like this movie because it makes me really sad. But it is
don't like
I'm
this
sorry, no,
movie?
I don't like this ending.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't like this
Okay.
ending because it makes me really sad. But it is a good ending. Like
Yeah.
I'll give it credit for that.
All right.
I just don't like it, and I turn it off. Like at the end of Black Swan, I just pretend that it ended a different way. And
I
I'm cool.
honestly have only been focused on what he just said. Wait till next week. So what are we watching next week?
Oh.
Oh, well, you're talking about how you hate this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Let's
got
see
a
if you
scary
like a little
scale.
movie called Tremors.
Woohoo!
Starring Kevin Bacon.
Oh yeah, and Reba
Ooh.
McEntire.
My first taste
And
of the
Reba
bacon
McEntire.
horror. What? Reba's in this?
Yes.
I didn't even know Reba did movies.
She's
I know
fancy.
I know Reba had a TV show, but I don't know. I see it when I'm working out, when I'm on the treadmill or whatever, and it's like, I'm like, Reba has a TV show? But
Yeah.
apparently it's on CMT or some
I
shit.
think it's called
They
Reba,
picked
right?
it up. Yeah, I think it was
Probably.
like on ABC or something
Oh,
like that.
was it?
And they saved
My
it.
bad.
Yeah, she's in this.
I mean, I like Reba McEntire. I don't love her music, but every time I've seen her like in an interview, she seems plucky and fun. I don't know.
I like the fancy song, and then there's
And-
another one.
Redhead.
She got a
Yo,
redhead,
she
yeah.
could get it.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Reba could get it.
She's spunky too.
Oh, I bet she likes it.
Are you talking about?
Spunk.
Are you
Gross. That's not what I was talking about.
She can get it.
talking about getting up on Reba?
I said back-
How
McEntire.
dare you, sir?
I said, how dare you? She is a national treasure, Todd.
That's Dolly Parton. Reba.
No,
Yeah.
Reba's not a
Dolly,
I like
national
Dolly.
treasure.
Dolly is more plastic than person at this point, and I'm into
Yeah.
it. Let's do
You
it,
better watch your
ladies.
fucking mouth.
Let's do
Okay.
it, ladies.
Talking about Dolly.
Yeah, she got a
Be
book
careful.
program.
She is a fucking angel.
She is.
How many
Yeah.
times have you been to Dollywood? Answer right now.
This week. How many times have I been hard at Dolly?
Oh, my
gross.
Oh, settle
PC
down.
police.
Gross.
You can talk about Reba. I can't talk about
She
Dolly.
can't get it. We
Yeah.
are single ladies.
Huh? We are.
Oh. Hey, but before we talk about Tremors, we got a scary scale this one.
That's
Yes,
true.
yes,
So
yes,
if this
yes,
is your
yes.
first episode, our scary scale is a scale not of quality of movie, but how scary we think it is. A
1 to 10.
1 is Ghostbusters, yes. A 10 is Texas
Texas
Chainsaw
Chainsaw.
Massacre.
Right.
This is your own scale that you create, and you forget that every week.
I know.
Can I say this? I don't think it's fair for me to try and have to plug in based upon my last numbers that I've given old movies, because I
Right.
think as I've seen other movies and as I get more deep into this, things probably won't scare me as much as like, what did I give fucking like Poltergeist?
But we'll be able to see that over time and track that
I know.
trend.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying as a
I'm preparing some
disclaimer.
graphs.
As a disclaimer, I'm not going to try and make the other ones make sense.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna
This is
end
how
up- yeah.
scary you thought it was today.
Right.
And that's fine. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm
What
gonna
movie
give it,
is this?
The Mist. I'm gonna give us a 5 and I do think Hereditary broke me down as a person. That's still the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life. But this was, man, 5.
Yeah.
5 is
Okay.
Because Hereditary is my 10. I've never seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so
Yeah.
Hereditary is my be-all, end-all, scariest fucking movie I've ever seen in my fucking life, and I'm terrified to go home at
Well,
night.
we really, and I mean, her and I talked about this, and then we talked with you about it, about whether
Yeah.
or not we should take you to that. And
Yeah.
we really, that was the first one that we went from like level 4 to level 12.
Yeah.
And you're going to see some more level 12s, but I
Yep.
think we're going to go back down to like, level 4
Yeah.
again.
Give you a break
and
for a little
build
bit.
you up a little bit
I
more
appreciate
before-
that, but
yeah.
I'd say 5. What do you guys think?
I think I'm going to give it a 6.
Okay.
I think
Interesting.
because the ending just
Oh,
really
'cause
messes
you-
with me.
Okay, yeah, I
I'm
still
more
get
jump
confused
scare.
by this.
You're
because
more
it's-
disturbing.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's the whole
Yeah.
thing. Okay, so if you're on a disturbing scale, all right, I could see that.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking about scares in it. I was going to give it a 3.
Yeah.
If I include that, yeah, maybe like a 5.
You give it a 5?
I'm going to give it a 5.
Yeah.
What did you
And
give
I-
it, Todd?
I gave it a 5. Yeah.
And I will say this is my third favorite Stephen King adaptation. It is
Wow.
What's
there
your
are
first two?
first
Shawshank
two.
and Green Mile.
No, Gerald's Game, then Shawshank, then this.
Damn, you ain't going to
Yeah.
throw some Pet Cemetery up in there? about
I
a
mean, it's
little,
on the list. It's a good one. It's not one of my favorites.
Is your list
What about a
laminated?
little
No.
Maximum Overdrive? No,
That is a hilarious movie.
we gotta watch
I don't
that.
know. It's got Emilio Estevez in it too.
It does. You mean Billy the Kid's in that movie?
Flying V.
How about Thank you.
All right.
Goddamn Gordon Bombay.
Yeah. So
Although
Tremors.
Tremors, yeah. Kevin Bacon.
You're gonna love it.
I love Kevin Bacon.
I don't
Are
think I'll
going
love
to
it.
Love it. They made
No.
like 8 of these.
I've seen. I very vividly, and might be wrong, but I very vividly can see the poster art for this that Thomas Jane probably painted, where it's like a house or maybe like 2 characters and like a worm-looking thing coming.
Underground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
almost like the Jaws poster.
Well, that's what they were going for, I think.
Yeah. So is that the poster that Thomas Jane painted for this movie?
I think. Well, no, the original one got blown away by that tree. This was his Photoshop version of it.
Yeah.
There was a
Okay,
Dark
okay.
Tower, and then there was a one for the Thing. in
Yeah,
the
yeah, there was the thing.
Yeah. That the joke was that
I got
Thomas
it.
Jane paints
Yeah.
all the. Okay. All right.
Just as long as you
we're
know. As long as you know I'm funny.
Right.
No.
Clint, you can get it.
Okay.
And guys, if you want to get it, make
Yeah.
sure you subscribe to the Horror Virgin. See how I
Nice.
worked it in? And
Was that
that's-
your master plan all along?
No.
I'm not that smart.
But yeah, I'm not that smart. I only thought of that 2 seconds ago. But I'm pretty good about, and ladies can attest to this,
Working it in.
getting it in. Nailed it.
Which ladies can attest to this?
None.
0.
Oh.
None.
Say hi to
so yeah.
say hi to Todd's mom. Fan of the
Whoa.
show.
What
Holy
just
shit.
happened? What just happened? You got to bring Melody into it? That's my
Okay.
mom's name. My
okay.
mom's name is Melody. Mom, turn it off now. But
Turn
guys,
it off 30
No
seconds
way any
ago.
of our moms made it to the end
Oh,
of this
I know.
episode.
But if you made it to the end of this episode and you
There's no
want
way
to
they
get
did.
it,
You are a hero.
so guys, if you want to get it, make sure you subscribe to the podcast and please rate and review the podcast because that really helps other
Yes.
people find us.
Even if it's just a sentence, you know?
Yeah,
Doesn't have
absolutely.
to
And
be-
honestly, in real life timeline, we launched a little over a week ago.
Yeah.
And this is the first podcast we've done since then. And the reception has been insane.
Yeah.
And we've been getting messages on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. It's been really, really cool to see the reception.
And let me just say why that is. The horror community is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it has been so cool.
It's weird for me to say yes.
Yeah.
Because I hate horror movies.
I know.
You're
But
part
the-
of it
but
now,
the-
though, man.
The
Right.
community has been awesome.
And
And
they're so supportive.
Yeah.
I
and
honestly thought they would be a lot meaner to me when we launched. And everyone's been like, oh, I love it. It's so funny.
Because
and
we
I
want
love
people
horror
to
movies.
join us.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
unlike any other genre
Yeah.
too. Like
Right.
just such nice people, and we've had a lot of reception with like a lot of other hosts have reached out
Yes.
and been like, hey, like what can we do? Like
Yeah,
it's been
how can
so
we talk-
so
yeah.
generous.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks to you guys. But
Yeah.
please continue rating and reviewing, telling your friends and family about us.
Yeah.
We'll keep doing them. You keep listening.
Yeah, are you following us on all this stuff?
The socials at
Yeah.
Horror
The socials.
Virgin.
Yeah, hey, and you can follow me now on Jenn Ferratu.
Yeah, Jenn Ferratu. I am at Todd J. Awesome. All the negativity comes to me, guys.
Yeah,
the
be
other
nice
two
to me, please.
cannot handle it.
And you
Nope.
can follow me on the Gmail chat.
Yeah.
On
G-Chat,
Hotmail.
guys. On G-Chat.
And Clint, his MySpace page, too.
My
I think,
MySpace
right?
page. Yeah.
I'm still on Friendster.
Are you?
No, it doesn't exist. I don't wait. Mine
Hit me
exists.
up on
I
that
don't
Angel Fire, ladies.
I got an Angel Fire blog. So yeah, guys. Ugh.
You didn't say my name first. How can you groan like that?
I'm Clint.
I'm Jen.
I'm Todd.
See you next week.
See you next week with Tremors.
Wah.
Bye.